Hello everyone and welcome to another video game review. Today we're taking a look at Overwatch for the PlayStation 4, the brand new multiplayer online competitive shooter, first-person shooter to be exact, that has everyone talking about it and playing it a lot with their friends. But is Overwatch truly a really great experience? Does it really deliver enough content for you to really enjoy no matter how many people you play with? Well, let's talk about it now. Right off the bat, I must tell you that Overwatch, even though it features a lot of great interesting characters to play as, and you may have seen some pretty nice cutscenes that in their YouTube channels for the game that tell you a little bit of the story of the characters and all that, in reality, the game does not have any type of story or campaign mode, which is a real disappointment because the characters themselves are very interesting, they are all very unique. The cinematics they have shared on their YouTube channel are also really interesting, like the game really does feature a pretty potential interesting storyline, but unfortunately the game itself does not really go forward into the story. So if you're looking for a specific storyline or campaign mode, then you will definitely not find it here. However, the game is actually very fun in multiplayer. There's a great amount of variety in gameplay because of the amount of characters that the game features. Every single character has different unique abilities. And the novelty of that is that every time you play a match, you'll be interested in trying different characters. You may say, oh, I got my main character for now, but later you'll get tired of using the same character and you will explore new characters, and you will be very excited when you get good with that brand new character. There might be some complaints about balancing on some characters or whatnot, but every character currently can still do a lot of damage no matter what. In that sense, all of the characters are pretty useful no matter what. The real key into winning is not because you're using the best OP character, but because you are really playing as a team very much together, very coordinated. Here you can see the full roster of characters. The characters are divided in categories. You have the offense characters, you have the tank characters, you got the support characters, and you have the defense characters. But that said, each character has their own unique abilities and trait. For example, the defense characters, there's two characters in there that are sniper, which are Hanzo and Widowmaker, whereas the other characters in that category play completely different and don't have the sniping abilities, like for example Mei that has a freeze gun. And that's the thing, they may be divided in these categories, but all of them really have their unique abilities and skills. And that's something that's really great for Overwatch because it features a big character roster for everyone to play as right from the get-go, and this also provides a way so that everyone can really play and have fun in the game no matter what, because it's more friendly that way in the sense that you can completely choose your own style of playing. Yes, the game is still a first-person experience, but it doesn't have to be specifically you as a shooter. You can be a healer, which is a support category where you have Mercy. Instead of shooting, she just heals characters. You could do that. You could also be Reinhardt and hit everyone with a hammer instead of shooting, and different things like that. Every character is different, every character has a different purpose. The key is finding what works best for you depending on the map and on the gameplay style of that map, whether you're in offense or defense. But let's talk about those game modes now. The game features 3 different gameplay modes. One of them is capturing a point. This is where both teams go together to one place to try and capture that area. In a way, it's like a king of the hill type of thing. You have to stay in that area. If everyone dies from that area and the other team arrives, then they can capture it and you need to kill them fast. Once they reach 100% staying on that position, that team wins. There's another version of capturing point on the game as well. Instead of having both teams fighting for that single point, one team is in charge of that point and the other team is the one that has to take it over. And the third mode, which I find the most interesting and more unique one, is the payload mode. In this mode, one team has to capture a specific point, and once that point is captured, a futuristic car will start moving, and you have to protect that car and make it move all the way through the map to a specific spot to the very end. But you have to do it before time runs out. If time runs out and you didn't deliver the car all the way through the specific goal area at the end, then you lose. However, there's now two different ways to play these modes. You can play in quick play, where you jump into any game that anyone has created and you can play. With the most recent patch, now you can play all of these modes in competitive play. In competitive play is, like the name suggests, you'll be competing against other teams. But in this mode, you will have a rank. You will be ranked among other online players. If you win, your ranking will go more up. If you lose, your rank will start going down. So in competitive mode, it's very key to really play as teamwork. Unfortunately, competitive mode has been really difficult to play because sometimes people drop from games, and if a player drops from a competitive game, the game cannot bring back another person to substitute him. The other problem with competitive play is that players get really nervous when they start losing, and they start choosing everyone the same characters, specifically Torjan, which is a character that spawns in a turret that can be very deadly and can shoot from a very far distance. If everyone goes Torjan and put a turret, then pretty much they're likely bound to win because of so many turrets that it's impossible for the other team to move. Fortunately, this is going to be fixed again in another patch. But don't be nervous about all these things I'm saying, because you can still play the regular quick play mode, where you can play with everyone, relax, no ranking, choose any character you want, change how many times you want, and a really great way for you to play as other characters in the long run too and explore them. Once you feel like you're really strong enough with certain characters and you know what you're doing with the game and you have a focused type of characters to use, and you can certainly jump in competitive and give it a shot. So does Overwatch feature other ways to play game modes? It has a few other things. You can play against AI if you want to train without using other players online. You can do that. You can make custom games, so you can have playing with specific people and you don't want to play with random. And there's also a special mode they do called the Weekly Brawl, and it's like the name says, weekly they change the rules of that mode. So basically sometimes it's play only support characters. Next week, just play everyone Soldier 76. The other content of the game is the loot boxes. Once you rank up enough in level, not in ranking of competitive, just normal level up, you will earn a loot box, and a loot box gives you extra stuff, which is customization for your character. There's unlockable skins of different colors, big costume changes, etc. There's voice lines for your character to say. There's sprays, which is things that you stuck in walls, because I don't still know the whole purpose of sprays. Sorry, I can't really tell you that because I don't get it. And there's other things like getting a fancy intro. A fancy intro is if you did a really good killing spray in a game, then you might have become the play of the match. Every time a match ends, the game tells you a highlight of who did some really amazing stuff at one point in that match. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to the loot boxes. It's a little disappointing that ranking up, it only gives you pretty silly customizations. It would be nice in the future to see more significant customizations. And the other thing is that you may be able to buy loot boxes, but that doesn't guarantee that you will get good stuff if you buy them. That said, all those little details aside, I think the game is still something that is growing. Blizzard has been listening constantly to all the things that people are requesting. We are now getting a new character hero very soon. She's called Ana. In terms of overall content, the game does have some pretty decent amount of content. Like I said, there's a great wide roster of characters to play as. There's around 12 maps to play as. Not a big amount, but still a pretty decent amount compared to Star Wars Battlefront or other games like that. But it's been a few months since playing this game, and I must honestly say I'm still actually not bored with it. Yes, the game is sometimes not as fun without your friends to play as, because the game does rely a lot in teamwork sometimes, specifically on competitive mode. But the idea of just trying out different characters and discovering different ways to play and the excitement of being able to really master another character is still a lot of fun when you're playing on your own. I think Overwatch is definitely a great experience. Maybe a little pricey for the amount of content right now of $60, but even so the game is still really great, and I definitely recommend it if you really want a great multiplayer shooter experience that's very friendly, that you can really get into. It's not something that you feel like there's so much pressure and too much competition. So it's definitely a great experience for everyone to play as a gamer. I give Overwatch a 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching this video game review, and see you next time, and maybe see ya in the game.